NBA playoffs. First half of the playing games are set.
Woo, smoking.
Hawks, Cavaliers, Pelicans, Clippers. The Hawks, Cavaliers first.
Hawks on the road.
Cavs are getting 3 points. What's up with that?
I'll take the Hawks. I like what Trae Young's bringing to the party. He's playoff ready. I've been saying from the opening tip, he's just been waiting on the playoffs. So, yeah, I'll take the Hawks.
They played well against Charlotte. Charlotte wasn't really ready for that moment. I thought they would play better than what they did. They closed the gap later on, but, Atlanta kind of took their foot off the pedal. It's going to be tough. I think I'm going to go with Cleveland in them points, man, because the Cavaliers were there in that game, came back. This Cavaliers-Hawk game, I'm looking for Garland to go off. They're going to rebound. I'm looking for those other guys to play a lot better. And this is more pressure on Atlanta, which, they're pretty good. I know Trey's up for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the Cavaliers and the points on this one.
I think that's Bickerstaff. I think that's Bernie Bickerstaff's son. Yeah.
They'll be a little more loose this time. And, I'm going to take the Cavs and the points.
Pelicans on the road. Clippers. Clippers are giving 4 points to the Pelicans. Who you got?
I believe the Clippers are going to pull this one off. That team is a playoff team, and I believe they said something to the effect that if they win this one and get into playoffs, maybe Kawhi will play. We'll see. I haven't heard any reports of him really working out or in shape, anything like that. But the Pelicans are going to get tough. We saw Zion, your guy, showing up at the game.
Put the fork down, big fella. Put the fork down.
Leave that guy alone. Pelicans are a young and up-and-coming team. They're tough too, man. But I'm going to choose the Clippers. I'm going to give up the points, bro.
I'm hesitant. I'm a little disappointed in what I saw with the Clippers, but I do have a theory on that. But I was disappointed in that game. I thought that game was there for them to win. Karl Anthony Towns fouled out early. That was just a game for them to have.
But then they started playing better when he was out.
That's fine, but that's where the Clippers, at least I would think a veteran team would take advantage of, our major star being out and all that.
Well, they're at home this time, right?
Right. They're at home,
so
but
that's going to make the
difference.
difference.
And I told you, I have a theory. I don't think they wanted to see Memphis. I told you this. I have a feeling that they didn't want to see Memphis. And not to say that they threw the game, but I feel like they feel more comfortable against Phoenix, especially after last year.
So
what did they went 6 games.
Conspiracy theorists here?
We've seen it where Milwaukee,
Okay.
they purposely sat out all their players so they can play the Bulls.
Well, they know this time this is do or die.
Yeah, this is do or die.
They knew they had that second game if they had to, and they were on the road.
And when I saw the press conference, Ty Lue didn't even look stressed. I am concerned from the mere fact that I did watch CJ and Brandon Ingram go off. You're playing with fire when you're playing against a team that has 2 legitimate scorers. And if they get hot, you're asking for trouble. So that's why this game concerns me. I do pick the Clippers. I am going to give up the points just because of the veteran. But this game concerns me a little more than the Minnesota game because the Minnesota game seemed a little easier to me for them. But that's just me.
JazzMavs.
This series concerns me for a couple reasons because there's 2 guys, and one of them's going to get a little more leeway than the other that really have something to prove. Donovan Mitchell, Luka. I'll start with Donovan. They have not done what they're supposed to. I don't think they've gotten to a Western Conference Finals, and if they have, they haven't performed well. Donovan's always ended up hurt in these playoffs where eventually it cost the Jazz. So I feel like he has something to prove. And then Luka. Luka hasn't gotten out of the first round, and he's coming into this hurt, which that concerns me because, as me and you have talked in other meetings, I feel bad for him because if he doesn't get out of this first round, he's going to start getting the stigma that Jordan got, that LeBron got when they couldn't get out the first round, and that's not fair because just like Jordan and LeBron, he really doesn't have a number 2 scorer.
Okay.
So this series really concerns me. If Luka doesn't play, he's not going to play game 1, from my understanding. If he doesn't play by game 2, Utah is winning this series. That's just, we can forget just calling each game. If Luka doesn't play the first 2 games, Utah is winning this series. So the caveat for me is if Luka comes back by game 2, I'm picking the Mavs. If he doesn't come by game 2, I'm picking the Jazz.
If he's not healthy, I don't see them having a chance at all. But if he's healthy, this is going to be a competitive series. I'm not a believer in the Jazz. I've never have been. For some reason, I just don't believe in that team.
Well, they don't have a legit number 2.
Yeah, and they got all the pieces almost, but it just seems like
missing,
it's Utah. I just don't understand.
They're missing something.
Yeah, if he's not healthy, I can't see them beating this team. And the fact that we're talking about if he's healthy, that they have a chance says a lot about the Jazz.
Yes.
This first game,
Yeah.
I got the Jazz. I'm going to give the points.
Timberwolves, congratulations, Pat Bev and the crew. Going on the road to the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are -7.
One of those physical games. Grizzlies are a tough team all the way around. To be so young and so mature, they reflect their coach. Tough-minded. Ja Morant, who's a freaking superstar, man. I never thought he'd be this good, this young, but he's such a leader, and that team has a great handle and understanding of who they are. This is going to be a tough one, man. Game 1, go with Memphis. They are going to win this series. They're ready to challenge anyone in the West. Phoenix, they can play with anyone, but we'll see if what they've learned over the last year or so is enough. I don't know if they'll make it to the finals, but I believe they will challenge it. It may go to the Western Conference Finals depending on the setup and how this thing shakes out.
Yeah, I've got Memphis, putting foot to booty on that first game. So they're definitely covering that 7. And I got Memphis winning this series 4-1. I think they're ready. They're one of the top defensive teams. They were my sleeper at the beginning of the year. I said people need to watch out for them because of their defense. Nobody thought that their offense was going to click like it has.
Nah,
and
it's pretty
and
sound.
really what the scary part is that they're like 15-3 without Ja Morant. So that's even scary because
Testament
now
to that coach and that chemistry of that team.
right? That's where I'm like, this is a team, like you said, that can make a run to the Western Conference Final. I'm not sure if they're mature enough to go to the finals, but I definitely see kind of like how the Atlanta Hawks made their run last year. I see Memphis making that run, and I think they're a better team than Atlanta. So I definitely am going to give up the points. I think, to be honest with you, I think they're beating Minnesota in the first game by 10 at least. I think it's double digits.
I think they should.
I think Minnesota over celebrated. They got a little hype, which they deserve. Congratulations once again. But yeah, I think Memphis is winning the series 4-1, and they're definitely going to cover that first
he
game
said
spread.
4-1, yeah.
Next one, we're going to the East. This is a solid series as well. A lot of good solid series.
Yeah.
Raptors on the road to the Sixers. Sixers are giving up 4.5.
This is a tough one for the 76ers. Toronto has a lot of size. They got a little bit playoff experience. Pascal, if he can lead them, keep their guys playing consistently as they did the last maybe couple of months, I think this series Raptors may win a couple of these games, maybe. But I'm going to go with the 76ers to win this series. It's going to go at least, I believe, 6. Embiid is going to have to play out of his mind. Beard is going to have to show up and be more consistent
And
as
how do
well.
you like his comment? I don't have anything to prove.
I don't like that. So now I might change my pick because of that comment by that guy. No, seriously, 76ers should win this. I can also see Toronto going 6-7 with this. So I'm going to pick 76ers to win this series straight out. And I'm going to take the points for the first game with the Raptors.
Oh, Raptors.
The 76ers will win the series, yeah.
Me and you are right on the same page on that. I'm going to take the Sixers. Toronto and the points because I think Toronto's going to mess around and win.
Yeah.
But I do pick the Sixers overall for the series. Like you said, I think it's 6, maybe 7. Embiid is going to have to be because they don't have an answer for him. They have an answer for everything else out there, lengthwise and all that. But Embiid, if Embiid's not averaging 35 or more, and they're going to be missing a player or two because of the vaccination when they go to Toronto.
Right.
I think Thibault or whatever his name is, the Australian player, they're going to be missing him. And I don't know who else may not be vaccinated on the team. The issue that I have with the Sixers, and I'm going to be very honest with you, I like that Maxey kid a lot from Kentucky. I think he's a second-year player. I like him a lot, and I like it when the ball's in his hands sometimes versus when it's in Harden's hands.
Yep.
And I think they play better when the ball's in Maxey's hands because he's explosive, he's decisive, kind of Harden because of his playground game. It's so to me that's where Doc is going to have to find a good balance of when you sit Harden out, put the ball in Maxey's hands, let him run the show, let him do his thing. They have the better, I don't want to say the better talent, they have more seasoned talent, I guess is what I want to say. So they should win this series, but Toronto is a problem. But I am going to say this is going 7. And I will give the Sixers that nod. But tonight, or the night that they play the first game, I am taking Toronto and taking the point. Nuggets on the road, the Warriors. Golden State is giving up 6. And we don't know the status of Mr. Curry yet.
The Warriors are going to cover this. They're going to destroy them this first game. I think they're going to be hyped at home. You know how that crowd is in Golden State.
First game for Clay in the playoffs.
Yeah, Nuggets. I haven't believed in them, especially without Jamal Murray. It's my guy.
And Porter.
Yeah, it's hard for them to hang with Golden State. Now, if they had those guys, that'd be a different series for sure. But yeah, the Warriors, Steph coming back. Jokic will get his. I'm sure that he's such just a brilliant basketball mind, and they really don't have anyone to stop him. The rest of that team, I'm looking for the role players like Poole and Draymond and Iguodala to step up their game. They've been kind of resting, and Golden State Warriors, this is a good matchup for them to start off the playoff.
This is a great matchup for them. They're not going to be really super tested defensively.
No, not at all.
The only thing that concerns me is they have nothing in the middle. So it's not even just about Jokic getting his. It's about others. You know, if I'm on Denver, I'm putting my head down and running in the lane.
Yeah.
But when I watch them, they settle for a lot of jumpers.
Absolutely. They love shooting that three, and they love it.
A lot of jump. And when you don't have any size in there, I mean, Looney's probably going to be the tallest dude in there. If I'm Will Barton, I'm just putting my head down.
You're going to the basket?
Yeah. I think, they're going to play fine at home. They'll win a game at home. Do they win 2 games at home? Because I think Golden State's going to beat them both games when the Nuggets are on the road. So can you come back, tie it up, and then from there make it a series? Because that's when I see Denver's coaching. When they're down and then they kind of come back, that's when I see him kind of make better adjustments. But when they're kind of even, 1-1 or 0-0, he kind of reminds me of Milwaukee's coach. A little too laid back, waits for things to occur instead of setting a tone. So, yeah, like I said,
it's a veteran coach approach, kind of like Phil Jackson. He does the same thing. He sees how they're playing that day or how they're feeling, how they're flowing,
but
then he makes
they're
adjustments.
Still not as veteran, like you say. And so that's where I feel like, I think Golden State wins this in 5 or 6. Outside of Jokic, there's just not enough consistency.
I agree.
We have the Bulls on the road with the Bucks. Oh, my God, the Bucks are getting 10.
Is that off anyway?
Jesus.
Huh? Is that off?
No, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's the biggest spread of anybody in a game. Wow.
Look at the Bulls have been playing very badly.
Yeah.
Even the second half of the season, but really the last month or so, getting back Caruso and Patrick Williams, he's been the spark plug for the last maybe week or two. Come on, man. Milwaukee is my pick to go to the finals and possibly win it all. They're going to try to get rid of the Bulls early so they can rest for the next series. They're going to come in with a professional approach. That coach is veteran-laden. That team is veteran-laden. Giannis, he's such a freaking leader, man, and I'm seeing him grow even more so this past year. You talked about him being the face of the league, but yeah, the Bulls, come on, man, they have question marks with Zach LaVine's contract's coming up and that knee and DeRozan, hogging the ball at times, and out of necessity, maybe Billy Donovan wants him to do that, but I'm seeing a disarray. AO hitting the rookie wall a bit. It's a lot of questions on this Bulls team. They're not focused. Vucevic, we don't know what they're going to do with him. He's not a presence defensively in that lane. He loves to shoot too many threes. So this team is all over the place. This is prime for Milwaukee, man. They're going to try to hit them early, but then they're just going to, just try to decimate them and kill their confidence. Any type of confidence the Bulls may have early.
I see this as a 4-1.
It'll be a sweep.
4-1. Bulls will have some pride and get a game at home.
Yeah, okay.
They will. They'll get a game at home.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they'll get a game at home. It'll be 4-1.
He's hoping, you guys. He's hoping.
It's no hope. I mean, because Milwaukee at times just doesn't show. I've watched them too much this year. They are my pick to come out of the East and win everything. If they stay healthy, they are my pick. I'm with you. I think they're going to get rid of these clowns immediately. They're not going to waste any time. There's nothing in there that's going to bother them in that lane.
Nothing.
And that's where they eat. Yep. So Portis, Brook Lopez, Giannis, Drew Holiday. They're going to eat.
By the way, he's the key. That Lopez coming back. I think he's the key.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that size and all of that. And the Bulls only really have one true inside player with Vucevic, and he's not, like Shobi said, he's not a presence like that defensively.
No.
This is a 4-1. I think the Bulls will get hot one game at home.
You're hoping.
It's not
yes,
hope. I'm just telling you.
You're hoping.
Say they're getting swept then. Say it.
I said it.
Oh, no, they're not getting swept.
Okay.
But, I think this is a good one. And as far as the 10 points, that's a great call on that one. I would definitely take Milwaukee and give the points because the Bulls have been playing like crap.
You're so Chicago, you guys.
No, I'm just saying 4-1.
So 4-1. Chicago.
The winner of
Cavs
and Hawks versus the Heat. So depending upon that, and there's no spread on that one, so who would you have? Hawks or the Heat or Cavs and the Heat?
The Heat will probably win 4-1, either one, or 4-2 at the most. Get ready for the next series. So I got the Heat over the Hawks or the Cavaliers.
Well, finally, we disagree. Thank God. This is a 6-7 game series. No doubt in my mind. I don't think Miami has anything to stick Trae Young whatsoever, and that's where they start. Everything starts with Trae Young. If you can't slow him down, if you can't deal with Atlanta. I have Atlanta
4-1
losing
Miami
in the series 4-2. If it's Cleveland, I do have it 4-1 because of the lack of experience, because of the lack of being in the playoffs with this roster. I think the only one on the roster that would have playoff experience would be Kevin Love.
It's possible that Atlanta may get 2 games, but I'm not. No.
Well, once again, that's why we're different human beings.
Okay.
So yeah, I would. If it's Atlanta, I think Miami wins in 6. If it's Cleveland, I think Miami wins in 5. But I think Atlanta does have a chance to make it out of that series with Miami. Nets versus Celtics, and the Nets are on the road. Celtics are getting 4 points. Who do you have in the game, and who do you have in the series?
This will go at least 6. Celtics are a bad matchup for them to me. If Brown and Tatum be who they are. Defensively, they're sound. Marcus Smart will probably be on Kyrie, frustrating him. And, yeah, that series is going to go at least 6. This is it could go 7, man. I will give the slight edge to the Brooklyn Nets because of Durant. We've seen him carry them to the playoffs last year by himself. If he gets a little bit of help, and if Kyrie does this thing and those role players step up, that's going to be the key to Brooklyn. Seth Curry and Drummond and those guys help out. Patty Mills comes to play. They can edge this out, but I'm not counting out Boston. This could go 7. Boston could pull this off.
And who do you have for the first game?
Give up the points. Take Boston.
Okay. I'm with you as far as this is definitely going 6 or 7. And the NBA would love for this to go 7.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm going to be
on the East Coast,
yeah,
absolutely.
They would absolutely love that. I'm in agreement with you that this goes 6 or 7. I am in agreement with you that the Nets should win this series. This is going to come down to the role players. Tatum and Brown versus Kyrie and Durant. Those
for the Celtics?
For both teams.
Yeah, that's what I said, the role players.
I think because Tatum and Brown and Kyrie and Durant, they kind of nix each other out because of the veterans. Patty Mills. I'm not sure if Blake Griffin will come back. LaMarcus Aldridge was heating up a little early. And then, that Brown kid. I like that Brown kid a lot for Brooklyn. I really do. He's
gritty.
He's a glue guy. We call them glue guys. He does what has to be. He does the little minutia stuff that has to be done. The other night, they don't win that game without him when Cleveland was making that comeback. Because they were doubling Durant, they're doubling Kyrie, making good decisions in the middle of the lane where he's throwing lobs to Claxton.
Yeah.
I like Drummond a lot. I didn't understand why they stopped playing Drummond late in the game. I thought that was one of the reasons why they kind of made a comeback.
But they're going to play him this series.
Well, they're going to play him a lot.
Yeah.
But I do like that pickup a lot. I think that Drummond pickup is that Seth Curry is just coming back from injury, so he was just getting back in. The mix of veterans. I'm going to preface this by saying this. I like Boston a lot. I love what Marcus Smart did earlier this year by calling them out and saying the 2 stars have to learn how to be more sharing with the ball.
Yeah, team-oriented.
That transitions to next year. I think this year they kind of just started figuring out how to play, trust other players, Tatum and Brown, more so Tatum. When really the boo-boo hits the fan, Tatum's not passing. And I've seen Durant pass. I've seen Kyrie pass. In order for the Celtics to win this series, Tatum's going to have to trust his other players, and I'm not sure he's at that place yet. Got Brooklyn in 6 or 7, and I have Brooklyn winning the first game coming out the gate. The Suns versus the winner of the Clippers New Orleans game. The Suns should win the series.
They should, and they will.
If it's the Clippers, it's a 6 game. If it's New Orleans, it's a sweep. 2 completely different animals. Phoenix would love to see New Orleans get them out the way early, get Chris Paul as much rest as he can, and just keep it moving. They understand what the Clippers are. The league understands what the Clippers are. Nobody really. There's 2 teams no one really wants to face. It's the Clippers, and really no one wants to face Brooklyn. Nobody wants to face Brooklyn right now. And the Clippers defensively, because they can switch everything, that's where, and I mean, we talked about it before, even though I felt like they shouldn't have lost to Minnesota. That's where I feel like they have an advantage. You got a Covington, you got a Paul George, you got a Powell, you got a Zoo. You got a lot of people that can switch. And that can kind of bother teams. And I saw them last year give Phoenix all they can handle. And I like the Powell pickup. I like the Covington pickup. Those are 2 solid pickups. I'm not saying the Clippers will win that series, but if I'm Phoenix, I don't want to see the Clippers.
Yeah, that's a tough first-round matchup for the number 1 seed, which are the Phoenix Suns. If the Clippers get them, it could go 6 games. Pretty sure Phoenix will win that series because coaching, leadership of Chris Paul. Whereas on the Clippers side, They have a lot of talented guys, but they don't have
That leader.
That that can bring them over the top. But they have that. Kawhi is a different series.
Obviously. Last year, absolutely, yeah.
Obviously, so
yeah. And I hear you about the coaching. Let me ask you this. I want to ask you this. You say the coaching, but do you feel like it's that much of a coaching advantage versus Ty Lue?
Well, when I say coaching, as far as on the floor.
Oh, you're talking about
Chris Paul, on the floor coaching. Monty and Ty Lue.
I think
Ty Lue's done a great job.
They're right there. Both of them are
different styles. Yeah, I mean you can't go wrong with either one. But on the floor, that Chris Paul leadership, how he gets in
and
there.
Devin Booker. Devin Booker has just grown to me. I'm so proud
as a
of
player.
Him. And as a leader, and I think obviously having Chris Paul there has helped him.
Yeah, and Chris Paul being out has helped him.
True.
Take on that, and Chris Paul's in his ear, Monty's in his ear. See that combination, Monty, Chris Paul, that's some rare stuff right there. And this is why I believe they will go to the finals and probably face the Milwaukee Bucks. But they lost to the Timberwolves. Yeah. They should not have lost that. And they're lacking something as well. Even outside of Kawhi, sometimes I think they're too playgroundy, and Phoenix is too smart. I think they'll overcome them without Kawhi. So yeah, they'll win the series probably in 6 games. And yeah, for me, that's what it is. Yeah, Phoenix, I got Phoenix in that series. And that will conclude our episode of this Sports Radio podcast. If you guys enjoy our content, please like, share, comment.
Love us.
We would really appreciate your feedback. Till next time.